do not like to be bullied or pressured into saying things or believing things that I do not believe. I find that terminology degrading. Okay? That I
Inshallah. Why?
personally, because I'm not a birthing person. Okay? I'm a woman.
What's wrong with being called a birthing person?
Well, first of all, not all women even have the capacity to get pregnant. So it's degrading to them to be essentially to have their womanhood questioned if like they're not
What a point.
unable if they're unable to have kids to begin with. But also, I mean, look, this is the thing that annoys me about this entire issue and conversation, because they'll turn around and they'll say, no one's calling you a birthing person. Okay, does someone need to call an individual who finds the N-word offensive the
Oh,
N-word
here we
in
go.
order
This is
for
where it
him?
always goes, guys. Like clockwork, guys. We've gone. Oh gosh, we've been reacting to this clip for what did we start it on, Gavin? 32 something.
Yeah, like not even 3 minutes ago.
So not even 3 minutes in. Here's what we've heard from Ana Kasparian. I'm not even kidding you guys. You couldn't script this. If we scripted it this close, you guys would be like, "Oh, you guys, this is too fast. This is ridiculous." So not only has she done blatant Armenian genocide apologia, right? That's always been her job over at TYT, was to be the flag waver and be like, "Hey guys, no, he's cool. He's with me, guys. LOL. It was a joke. LOL. We're moving on. Like, we didn't change the name. Like, why didn't you change the name? Like, that's what I don't understand. Why didn't it's not like that good of a name. You could have kept TYT and done something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have done anything else and it would have been great. Now she's gone all the way to there to I saw birthing person on the form, and that is the same thing as a black person being called the N-word. On what level is that the same thing? And also, she kind of completely shreds her own argument at the beginning of this. If you go, we don't have to go back. You guys will remember, but she says, not all women can give birth. And we're like, very good, Anna. That's right. That's why this refers to, on a medical form, the women that can give birth. Great. Or the people that can give birth, right? And then see how that's what we call intersectionality right there. That's the little crossover on the Venn diagram. And that's called inclusivity, right? So it's like, oh, you know, and maybe we could refine the words a little bit more. It's like, are you menopausal or postmenopausal? It's like, okay, no, right? That doesn't invalidate your womanhood, right? These are things that your doctor would need to know. And yes, some of it's private information. That's why we have laws in this country that make it so that the information that you give to your doctor is legally fucking private. Like, nobody's saying that you need to blast this out to everyone, right? So if you were like so above birthing person, I would or say, you know, so opposed to that, then how about people who can give birth? Are you capable of fertility, of reproducing? Right? Like, I mean, fucking whatever, right? Like, if I got asked on the thing, it was like, are you sterile? I'd be like, fucking no, unfortunately.
Right. Who cares though? That's not like, you wouldn't take that as like a reflection of your humanity. Are they reducing me to whether or not I am sterile? Like, obviously no one would take that away unless you're just being a dramatic narcissist and taking everything personally for no reason at all. And yeah, it's funny because the whole birthing person thing, like, that's already supposed to be the polite way to basically say, do you have a vagina? Because that's what's being asked on these forums, right? And the reason why they have to put it in that term is because it's not just women who have vaginas. Non-binary people have vaginas. Trans men have vaginas. So it's not just women. And that's why they don't just put woman. But that's why it's there. And to invoke the fucking N-word is so insane. Like,
as a white person,
like a word which has been historically used, as if I need to explain this, historically used to dehumanize and subjugate people, to oppress them and murder them and enslave them. Like, word which has a massively ugly history that goes back hundreds of years. You're going to compare that to some term you saw in a fucking medical form that was come up with 2 or 3 years ago, not to oppress anyone, not to dehumanize anyone, but to be inclusive, but to expand the you know, amount of people that can be comfortable who are using a fucking medical form. That's what you're going to compare to the N-word?
Yeah, and what? Literally, this is a word about inclusion. This is word, like, what couldn't be more polar opposites? But dude, that's the derangement guys. That's the insanity. That's the self-victimization that is going on over here. That's the level of it. It's so bad that she doesn't feel humiliated saying that in public. She actually feels proud to, because she knows she has got a pack of hyenas around her that are about to celebrate her for her bravery of saying, going on their show and saying exactly what the fuck they want her to. That's not bravery. That's called fucking building an audience of right-wing chuds. It's like, oh, here's this pretty lady that hates trans people. I hate trans people. Let me click subscribe. Like, what? That's not bravery. That is literally feeding the machine. That's like when people come out here and they act like fucking cheerleading Israel's fucking destruction of Gaza is somehow like the fucking just, oh, I'm being very brave, but I just have to say, I know it's unpopular, but my thoughts and prayers are with the government of Israel as they fucking fight for their free fight. It's like, that's not the actual dangerous thing to say. That's what they want you to say. Like, I just believe Israel has a right to defend itself. Right? That's what they want you to say. So it's not dangerous, but they'll couch it in all this language like, I'm a soldier coming out here to fucking say. It's the exact same thing. This is dead ass why HIPAA exists. 100%, Kelly. That's exactly the point we were making. So really appreciate that from you.
Yeah, shout out to you, Kelly.
And also shout out to you, prisoner of gravity.
Yeah, shout out to you, prisoner of gravity, for the $4.99. Ironically, Bill Maher complains how the left is oversensitive about words, and here's Anne. Yeah, that is true. And it's also just so hypocritical. Or so hypocritical how Anna is lecturing people for not being able to like convince her or change her mind, and they just want to browbeat me and mock me and abuse me on Twitter, but no one wants to change my mind. We've been over this a million times, but like 1,000 Twitter accounts begged to engage with you on the subject matter, Anna. So many people, including people that were on TYT, namely Benny, who left the network, said, hey, let's actually have a conversation about this. No one's trying to cancel you. No one's trying to harass you. Let's actually just talk about this. Let's have a conversation. We'll present our perspective and we'll explain why we find yours to be a little bit problematic. It's not that deep. It's not that big of a fucking deal. This is your job, to debate the discourse of the day, to have a discussion about controversial topics. Like, why are you shying away from this one? Why does your word have to be the last word on the subject matter? Why can your opinion not be challenged when your whole job is to challenge other people's opinions and to engage in the discourse, to get in the fucking trenches of online internet debate culture? Like, what? It's so crazy. But yeah, shout out to you, prisoner of gravity.
Yeah, shout out to you. Really appreciate that. And we can soldier on.
To find it offensive or degrading. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
No one needs to be called that word to find it problematic or to have an issue with it. And besides which, I was called that, okay? Yes, in a medical setting, but this is a doctor who knows I'm a biological woman. Call me a woman. But I had a conversation with that doctor. Why did you feel the need to call me a birthing person? Like, where did that come from? And in California, medical providers are basically like told that there will be penalties if they don't use the proper terminology or if they're caught doing anything discriminatory toward the trans community. Now, if they're actually doing something discriminatory toward the trans community, I think medical providers absolutely should face consequences. But the idea that we should change all of our terminology, even toward women who want to be called women, in order to be inclusive is ridiculous to me. Now, if a transgender
This is such a straw man too. That all terminology is not being changed. They love to say this. Oh, I don't think we should change all terminology to account for the 1% of trans people. Guess what? Neither do I, Anna. Neither does like 99% of people. That's why when you go like to a fucking restaurant and you go to use the bathroom, there's like a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom. It doesn't say a men's bathroom and a birthing person's
Not
bathroom.
at my bar, brother. It just has the alien and it just says wash your hands.
Okay, well, that's actually the way it should be. I love those ones where it just says, this bathroom's for anyone or whatever. But no one is actually in, public society replacing the word woman where it exists with the word birthing person. Like I said, it's not like there's a men's restroom and a birthing person's restroom. No, it's a men and a women's restroom. And, for 99% of, culture and society, that's how it is. They're not replacing the term women with birthing person only in these very specific instances like on medical forms, when it specifically relates to, your ability to give birth, your ability to menstruate, these sort of, things which are relevant in a medical setting. But that's such a straw man. And I see this all the time from these fear mongers who are trying to gin up a moral panic. They take these niche, like medical examples and act like, oh, see, they're trying to change all language everywhere, when that's just not true.
100%, 100%, 100%.
Person wants to be called that, fantastic. I respect it. I'll do it. I'll engage in it. But I think in the context of my relationship with my doctors, I want to be called a woman. It's not that difficult. It is my personal preference. Okay. That doesn't mean that I in any way believe that transgender people should be treated differently, or that they should be discriminated against, or that they should not live lives of dignity. I have had an entire career defending them, supporting them. And this one issue led to ridiculous outrage among a fringe component of that community.
It led to ridiculous outrage from you. Literally no one else. Everyone was just going around living their lives. And then you started hyperventilating about some shit that was affecting nobody, that was endangering nobody, that in no way negatively affected literally anyone, including yourself. And then you're the one that got upset. Everyone else responded by saying, hey, that's kind of stupid. Maybe we should talk about this, and maybe I can explain my perspective to you, which led to you then melting down even more. But yeah, the complete inverse of what actually happened.
They are not representative of the
it's a
entire
childish
transgender
pity
community.
party.
And
Sorry, Zach.
Oh, nothing. I was just saying it's just a reeks of a pity party. Like, this is what it all came out of a conversation that you had with your doctor, where you felt so oppressed and marginalized. That just speaks to the kind of life of luxury that you're living right now. This is what you have to come up with, right? To get all up in arms about, right? This is your like J.K. Rowling moment where you finally found a cause. And it's about women. It's about women. Okay? Real women, not fake women. You know, okay, I gotcha.
And for that fringe component, if they think that they're going to shut me up and force me to say things I don't believe, they've got another thing coming. Okay. I'm going to say what I think every single time.
Do you think they're crossing the line a little bit and it's getting a little bit too ridiculous in certain sectors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
They
who's
turn people off with it.
and-
And again, it is a fringe component of the transgender community. And they don't even realize how counterproductive they're being.
They're so
and
dumb, they don't
who's
even
allowed
realize
for
this,
that to
the
happen?
trans
Who's-
community advocating for their rights. They don't even realize what they're doing. They don't even realize it. They're so dumb. They actually don't know the harm they're causing themselves, because they just need a real fearless leader like me that tells them exactly what they need, which happens to be the opposite of what the community is asking for. But that's why they're so dumb.